Got some big news today with the first trade in fantasy football going through before week one. Rocked out Damian Pierce, for I ended up snagging him for J.K. Dobbins and Traylon Burks, which I know not everyone is happy about. Some people see some good upside to that, some people don't. But for me, I had to make the decision. I think Pierce is going to have way more upside than J.K. Dobbins this year. I see Pierce is finishing as an overall top 10 back in the league. And in addition to that, he's one of my guys for this year, as posted in one of my videos. So I definitely see him as having a lot of opportunity this year, and I really think going forward, like it's going to be a nice thing. So all right, let's see here. Oh, look at that. Vasharian, thank you so much for the follow. Vasharian's a great real life friend that I have back in America. Miss him a lot. Spent many years playing some fun video games together. So, and he was actually one of the few people that got me started in WoW. One of my favorite things. So, oh man, thank you so much. All right. Yeah. So Vasherin, great chap there. Absolute great chat. Oh, and Karamia, there we go. Okay, another great chap as well. Real life friend. Really great guy. So happy, very happy to have two followers already. Look at that. Look at that, man. Yeah, we're starting the NFL season off on the right foot this year. Gonna keep things going. All right. Let's check this out real quick, see what we've got. Okay. All right. And we'll just kind of take you through, my thoughts, what I've got here in terms of fantasy this year, in terms of my picks that I have, and in a couple leagues, I'm rocking Justin Fields. Really like his potential this year. I think he's going to absolutely be a smash pick. Uh, he's an absolute stud. He's one of my guys. I've talked about him on my YouTube videos. Really like this guy. I think he's got really high upside potential this year. So he's going to be starting for me. Tony Pollard, great running back there. You could see what Amon Ra did the other night in the first game and stuff. Really solid guy. So really like what Amon Ra was able to do the other night. We're going to see a first glimpse today at Calvin Ridley. For the first time in a couple years, it seems like. So it's going to be real nice to be able to see what he's able to do. Really excited to see his production, the way he's able to gel with Trevor Lawrence, what they're able to do there. I think you're going to see some great things coming out of them. Uh, George Kittle obviously had the injury tag going with the groin injury and stuff, but it looks like he is going to be a go today, which is really good. And I think he's going to put up some good production. This guy's an absolute warrior, absolute stud. Anytime he's on the field, he's going to produce. So really excited to see what he's going to be able to do today. We're rocking Keenan Allen as well. I think he's great in terms of being able to haul in a lot of targets, and definitely the unquestioned favorite target of Justin Herbert. So really like him a lot. As I mentioned previously, J.K. Dobbins, yep, he is there in my starting lineup today, but there was just a big trade that went down uh, with me sending J.K. Dobbins and Traylon Burks over for Damian Pierce. And I know it's not a favorable matchup today. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins has the best matchup going against the Houston defense. But I think you're going to start to see that as things progress, he's going to be hurt by week 5. And Traylon Burks is going to be a guy that, is not going to have a ton of opportunity. He may make the most out of those opportunities that he does get, but he's got a bigger mouth to feed in DeAndre Hopkins there, who's a very very solid receiver. And I honestly think Traylon Burks is going to have, um, when you look at 20 throws a game from Tennessee, their whole objective is to run the ball well, play good defense. He can get schemed out very quickly just by their game plan. So I really think that Traylon Burks really isn't going to be able to catch that many balls this year. So really looking forward to that trade coming through. And when I look at Damian Pierce, his upside is just incredible. I've got him as one of my guys this year, but I really really think he's primed to have a great year. They're going to lean heavy on the run in Houston, especially with a new quarterback in Stroud. Now I know the line right now struggling a little bit in terms of what they got there, but I definitely think Damian Pierce is primed for a top 10 finish in this league. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping my commissioner will wake up and process that trade soon so I can be able to start them today. But yeah, looking for some great matchups right out of the gates and trying to see exactly what we're going to be able to do going forward. So let me bring up real quick. I just want to talk about they've got some of the start sits of what's happening and some of the injuries. I want to make sure we bring those up as well because these guys have been ruled out. So just being able to see it, Mark Andrews, unfortunately, not a good thing. I've got Cup and Andrews on one team. So for both of them to be out the first week of the season does not feel good. That's a really, really tough thing to experience. Kendre Miller, another guy that I've rostered in a number of leagues, thanks to Andrew Erickson. But he's ruled out today too. Not expected to play as well, Jerry Judy. I think that's probably a safe thing. Really good thing as well because he's nursing that hamstring, and the last thing you want to have happen is the exact same thing that happened to Cooper Cup where he re-aggravated it. So definitely think that's a smart decision. Devonta Parker, there's no qualms about it. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I think Devontae Parker they're going to get crushed today by Philly. I think it's going to be brutal. I got a buddy going to the game. I told him, enjoy getting smashed by Philly. And I just think that's not a good play, anyways. I think the only guy worth really rostering, I know Juju kind of is, maybe Mac Jones in some super flex leagues, but I look at so Mac Jones in super flex leagues because you're running double quarterbacks most of the time, and he's going to outproduce most of the position players at that point. But the only other guy on their roster worth starting is Stevenson. We may see how Hunter Henry kind of comes into the fold as things come through here and the season progresses. I know they brought in Gesicki in the offseason. My guess is they plan on using him. But we will see. So we can scroll through these here. Obviously, Kittle, like I mentioned, he's officially active. Marquise Brown, active as well. Kendre Miller, officially inactive. Just like we mentioned before, Mark Andrews as well. Devon A-Chain, I know he was battling that shoulder injury about 18 days ago, 20 days ago now, where he was carted off the field, but it looks like they're going to rest him up a little more. He was going to be third in line anyways in that backfield, so I really don't think it's that big of a deal keeping him out. He's a rookie. They want to make sure they ease him in, and, they already lost Jeff Wilson for at least the first 4 weeks. Last thing they want to do is lose a talent like A-Chain, so they're going to ease him back in. Romeo Dobbs, they've got him on a snap count this week, which I think just provides a ton of opportunity for Aaron Jones, Jaden Reed, and Luke Musgrave, who I've got Musgrave going. I've got Reed going in multiple leagues. I think they're going to be smash plays today. So real excited to see that. Let's see some of these other guys that we've got. Tyrion Davis-Price inactive against the Steelers. Adam Thielen, he's going to be active. I think you could actually see some surprising things out of Adam Thielen this year, and I know most people have kind of been hated on him just because he's older, this and that and stuff. But this guy's a great possession receiver. He had a lot of targets last year in Minnesota that are most of them are going to go to Jordan Addison this year. But I think they've had good reports that he's developed really good rapport with Bryce Young, and I think Young's going to be a talent there. I still go back, and I was talking with Al on our podcast about this, that people were kind of going back and forth on whether Bryce Young was going to be the first pick overall in the last draft, and kind of surprising to me because the guy's an absolute stud. Like he was an absolute talent. You look, obviously, Richardson, supreme talent, has very high upside. CJ Stroud, great quarterback as well. But Bryce Young was the unquestioned best quarterback in the NFL last year. If this guy was 6 inches taller, no one would even be considering it. It would have been a lock from the beginning, and no one would have any concerns. But because he's a little bit smaller, people have concerns about him. So we'll kind of see. I think him and Thielen are going to get off on the right foot. Thielen was on the Pat McAfee show just last week and talking about how he expects big things this year. And I really think that, Thielen's going to help grow Jonathan Mingo as well. I think you're going to see Mingo have a great, great year because of that. So, Keyshawn Vaughn officially inactive. I don't really think that means much. Just um, more of a carry and more of a touch basis for Rashad White. I think he's going to absolutely crush and have a great season. So uh, Marcus Davenport officially inactive. I don't think that's a huge thing. Their defense, I'm really concerned about this year. Um, let's see. Malik Willis ends up winning the backup job. Kind of knew where that was headed. Levis just didn't seem to take anyone by storm in camp. So I really think we knew that it was going to be Willis's job to kind of lose. Um, let's see. Any more of these that are fantasy relevant? Nothing that I'm really seeing here. JaMychal Hasty inactive for week 1, but we don't really expect him to get too many touches. Um, let's see. Will Levis inactive. We just mentioned him. Okay. Let's go into showing and giving an idea of what we've got for the 2 leagues that I'm going to be running this year. We've got 2 leagues that we're running as a co-commissioner of. The first one, we might need to censor, but after this week you can F off. It's a guillotine league. So we're running a 16-team guillotine league in this. You can see 16 teams here. I think you can now. Okay, so 16 teams that we've got. Um, what's going to happen because of that? We were just too short of hitting that 18 number. But what's going to end up happening is the lowest scoring team after week 2. Week 1 is not going to matter. That's kind of getting people's feet wet and stuff like that. After week 2 starts at 0, or after week 1 it starts at 0. There's the floor. And then we're going back into week 2 where it's going to be fresh. Whoever is the lowest scoring team for the week, they're going to be cut. We're going to drop their players, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I see getting shout outs right now about Cho'Gall Forever. Yep, Cho'Gall Forever. That's one of my buddies that's playing and stuff. Great team. So great friend too. So I think he should be pretty good this year in terms of his team. But the Guillotine League's just PPR. So we're going to cut one team each week up until week 14. In week 14, 15, and 16, the last 4 remaining teams, they're going to run basically a 3-week race, a marathon, and whoever scores the most points within those 3 weeks, that's going to be the winner of the league. So that's just to give an idea of that. Let's take a look at my team and who I'm rocking here in this. All right. I know we discussed it before in one of my YouTube videos, but right here we're looking at Amon Ra already played this week. Real solid production for a first week. Look at that, 9 targets. I mean, this guy's just going to end up with 8, 9, 10 targets every week this season as long as he stays healthy. So really pleased with the production he was able to put up there. Jalen Hurts is my quarterback. I think the reason he's really good in guillotine leagues is because he could beat you in a number of ways. Not only can he beat you through the air, but he can also beat you on the ground too. So it's kind of funny. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but we've got the prayer going off here in Istanbul. So kind of interesting to have that going through. Um, let's see. All right. Yeah, goes out 5 times a day. So just we're cruising through on that. But let's continue on with this. I think Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great, absolutely great quarterback for guillotine leagues because he's got that consistent floor every week of being able to go and make score points not only on the ground but also through the air. Um, a very safe pick. And look at him with the week 10 bye week. You don't have to worry about starting anybody else until week 10, if you make it that far. So, Keenan Allen, another safe bet in guillotine. The only reason I don't think we really probably should have gone this way in this particular league is because he's got a bye week for week 5, and I don't really necessarily like that. I think that's kind of a rough one to have because it's pretty early on. But look at the rest of my team. I mean, you can see the roster. The bye weeks going down. None of them are that early. I've got one that's 7, one that's 5, and the next earliest is going to be 9. So I really drafted this team for the long run. Moving on, Alexander Madison. I think he's an absolute dog. Like this guy's going to have a great season in Minnesota. And I know a lot of people are concerned about the workload, him taking over a full workload there after Dalvin Cook. But let's be serious. He's not going to have 10 guys in the box. With Jefferson there, with Addison there, with Hawkinson there. I mean, this is a good offense. He's going to have a lot of opportunity to be able to catch balls out of the backfield, but also be able to run the ball on first and second down. And most of the time, to be honest, and we watched a lot of what Kirk Cousins did last year. They're not a team that runs the ball a ton. They'll run on first down, but they're looking to throw on usually second down, third down. And I expect a lot more of that this season too. But I think Madison is going to be able to reap a lot of benefits, getting 5-6 yards on first down. So really like him. Also really like Khalil Herbert. He was one of my guys that I posted in my YouTube video. I don't know why more people aren't high on him. And maybe with Justin Fields, his production and stuff, and him being able to. Um, put up all the points that he's predicted to. I think it kind of takes away from Herbert a little bit. But Herbert is a guy that averaged 5.7 yards per carry last year. I really think that he's going to be an absolute stud for them, and we're going to find out, this week exactly what type of usage they're going to have for him, and definitely be on the lookout too. Expect him to catch a few balls out of the backfield as well. So. Moving on here, Isaiah Likely. You could see by week 13. Same for Madison and Herbert. They both had bye weeks for 13, but Isaiah Likely, I ended up picking him up because, I was rocking Dalton Kincaid, but I really wanted either a Musgrave or someone like that. I pulled up Likely just because every time Andrews has been out for any of the games, Likely's really popped off and been stepped in and been that number one tight end. So I really think that there we go. There's Johnny Blaze 34. Oh, love you too, man. Love you too, bro. You missed it. We just had Cho'Gall Forever up on the screen. So, and we know Cho'Gall Forever is probably going to win this league. So, but back on Isaiah Likely, he's been a tight end one. I think a lot of people like him a lot, and I really think every time he steps in for Andrews, it seems him and Lamar Jackson or him and Huntley, they had really good rapport. So definitely, I'd say he's almost a lock every time for a touchdown. Once they get down around the end zone, they're looking for this dude all the time. And the last one that I'm filling for my flex spot, besides kicker, defense, that stuff, Raheem Mostert. I mean, again, this didn't end up a starting running back at the beginning, but now with the injury to Wilson and kind of A Chain being banged up, like Mostert's going to get a ton of exposure this week. So definitely look for him a lot on the ground. Look for him a lot out of the backfield. It's basically the Miami track field team. So be on the lookout for them. I think they're really gonna put up some serious points when they go out to LA. Um, we're coming up close to the 1 o'clock games and stuff. So let's go take a look at this other league real quick, talk through the lineup, and then we'll get you guys back to the 1 o'clock game. So right here, I've talked a lot about Justin Fields this year. Definitely one of my guys. I really, really like him a lot. I see him with a solid path to be able to finish with the number one as the number one QB overall. And I really like a lot of what he does. I think he did a lot of work in the offseason upgrading that passing game there. And I really, you look at DJ Moore coming in. He's got a playmaker now, a guy that's not afraid to go up and get a ball. And from the preseason, you were able to see, he's developing that confidence. So really, definitely think that he's gonna do well this first week. And look at this, we got Taint Slammer in here. Oh my God, Taint Slammer, one of my best friends. Johnny Blaze too, man. You guys, you're really hyping me up here. It really makes me happy. So. Can't wait to see you guys again. Man, it can't come soon enough. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it so much. Love you guys. Um, Moving on here, we got Garrett Wilson, who I think is, he's got upside to finish as the number one overall receiver this year with Aaron Rodgers. We've seen it in the past, Devontae Adams. Yeah, Wilson's not that big body receiver that Devontae is, but they're going to scheme him multiple times. And we've already seen some of these corner of the end zone catches with Garrett Wilson. He's got a ton of upside for a great season this year. So definitely be on the lookout for him. Jordan Addison, he's a rookie with a lot of potential, I think, and he's stepping into all of those targets that went to Adam Thielen before. So be on the lookout for him. Really good hands, really great route running. He's an absolute stud. I really, really think he's going to be easily transitioned into the NFL from the way he was playing at Penn State and USC. So definitely keep your eye on him. We got another rookie here in Marvin Mims, and really the reason I'm